welcome Abbi Jacobson. Abbi Jacobson.
Wow.
Welcome back to The Daily Show.
Thanks for having me back.
It is so good to have you back. Last time you were on the show, we were talking about the end of Broad City.
20 years ago.
It feels like that.
It does feel like
it
that.
Really
it's
does
3
feel like
years
that.
ago.
What I didn't know was you were already embarking on a new journey to start League of Their Own. And I love how you've taken a movie that's a classic and turned it into something that's super current to what's happening today, but it feels like it's very much in touch with the original.
I love to hear that. Yeah, it's quite a classic. It's people's favorite movie. It's a lot of pressure.
It is, though. It was huge.
It is. It's one of my favorite movies.
Yeah.
It's why we wanted to do it. But, you know, it was made in 1992.
Right.
When, and it's a 2-hour film. This is a TV version. We have a lot more real estate. And we wanted to tell a lot more stories. There's a lot of things that Penny Marshall hinted at in the film.
Yes.
That it's like alluding to
I feel
things.
like she had to do that though. But what's great is that the story talks about everything. It talks about sexuality. You know, it talks about acceptance. It talks about, you know, even that little nod to segregation. It's like you've got the fight for women's rights, but it's like black women are often excluded from that conversation. And now you've gone, I'm going to bring all those conversations, but I'm not going to allude to them.
No, we're going full on.
I love it.
No alluding. Yeah, I mean, women playing baseball, I think some of them are going to be queer, I think. I think so. And none of them were in the film, even though it's like this kind of iconic gay movie
It
somehow.
really is.
But there's no one's gay in it. Rosie's in it, there's just little touches. And the more research we did, the more we found out that this was a really queer league, and queer people didn't just show up at Stonewall. Like, we've been around forever. And so the more research we did about queer culture in the 40s, which just was so exciting to dive into those stories. And then there is this scene in the film that you all know as well, which is an iconic scene where there's a foul ball and a black woman picks it up and chucks it back. And it's like, she has a great arm. And then that's truly it. If you blink, you miss the scene. Yeah. It's so short. And in '92, I think Penny couldn't tell that story as thoroughly as we can now. And so in that league that the film features, women of color were not allowed to try out. They weren't allowed to play.
Right.
And so in this show, we find out, well, what happens when that door opens for my character and a lot of other white women and white passing women to get to play in that league, and what happens when it closes. And this other main character in the show, which you're all gonna find out when you watch the whole thing, finds her own team, and her character's loosely based on these 3 women who played in the Negro Leagues.
Right.
Toni Stone, Mamie Johnson, and Connie Morgan. So once we once I found out all about them, that was the most exciting part, to tell their story.
I think you tell it well. I think it's really funny. I think it brings so many stories together. One of the most amazing moments for me, you know, you say the word research a lot, and I hope everybody understands. You actually did research the league itself. You talked to women who played baseball. You talked to them about their experiences. You had one of the most amazing moments where you shared the fact that you're queer with a baseball legend.
Yeah, Maybelle.
And she came out.
Yeah, so again, we've been working on this since 2017, and research was such, like, every iteration of the writer's room, all the department heads had access to all the research, and so in doing that, we met a lot of the players from the league and a lot of other softball players that are still around, and Maybelle Blair, who was consulting with us on, like, the baseball part. You know, Will Graham and I, who co-created it with me, we had a drink with her. She has this, like, dive bar down in California that she loves, and she brought us out to, like, a 5 p.m. dinner. And she's 95.
She's 95
she's
years
95.
old. I think this is crucial for people to remember.
Yeah, she's 95.
This is a late night. You're 95 years old.
And so we were like, we got to bring this part up. And I was like, you know, I'm queer, Will's queer. I was just, like, outing us all. You know, I feel like that was missing from the film. Like, there had to have been queer characters. Do you feel like that was missing from the film? And she, like, took a breath and was like, well, you know, I'm gay, and I've never said that to really anybody. And queer is not a term. She was like, that was a slur for a very long time. Right, that was a slur back then, yeah. And so she told us about 4 years ago, but we just premiered at Tribeca in June, and she came out on stage publicly.
That is amazing.
And
That is amazing.
And I mean, she's 95.
Right.
And it just shows, like, these stories we're telling in the show, I just feel very proud to be showing this kind of representation, because, I mean, it took her it was an incredible moment, but it also took her to be 95.
Yes.
So that shows how dangerous and it was to be queer and still is to be queer, and how important it is to show these stories. So
I think that's what makes it so powerful is, you know, you use the comedy to get us in, and it's a really funny show. I hope everybody, like, watch it for that reason alone if you want. It's super funny. But the reason you're going to stay is because there's so much heart. It, like, talks to the precarious nature of being queer and how you can and cannot exist in certain spaces. And then it talks about everything. It talks about, like, how women have to, like, sort of step out of the spotlight when the men are like, we're coming back to take our league. It's a really funny show. I think you've done a great job. I hope it goes on for many, many, many seasons. I hope we just see you again with more and more and more and more.
Come back a couple months.
Yeah, just keep coming back. Thank you so much for joining me again. It's wonderful seeing you. So much fun. Abbi Jacobson, everybody.